Hi, my name is Brent Atwater and I'm the Animal Medium. Welcome to our weekly show. Be sure to check out our sister station, PetLifeRadio.com, where we have podcasts over there 24/7 and quite a lot of archives on every subject you can think of. And if you're a newbie, check out our archives here because we have a lot of subjects. Now, if you want to send in your question, you can send it in my group, via Twitter, via my website, or you can email me, and I look forward to answering your questions. Today's question is, why do I cry all the time? Well, crying comes in different levels. First, your initial crying is just grief, where you really, as a human being, are devastated, your guts are wrenched out, your soul is torn to shreds because your pet has left his fursuit. That means he's vacated his fursuit and transitioned into living energy on this other side. But to your human being, that doesn't matter because that's a spiritual take. All you know is your pet died, and that's what you think. But what you got to do is go over the speed bump and know that your pet just transitioned from his fursuit, like shake it off, and then went to the other side as living energy so they can always be with you and always be around you. Now, the second level of crying is ongoing grief, where there's a hole in your heart because your pet is a fiber of your heart and a fiber of your being. And you'll always cry over that. My Mikey, who was killed, has been gone, about 18 years now. And you know what? I still have crying spells. But what you want to do is when you have those crying spells, look at it as a celebratory crying spell. And you're going, what? Look at it as a celebratory crying spell? Yes. Cry because you experienced that love. Cry because you had that unconditional interchange. Cry because it was so special in your life. Do you know how many people don't ever get to experience that? Think about that. How many people actually get to experience the bond that you and your pet had? Yeah, that makes it pretty special. So cry. You'll cry until the rest of your life. Why? Because there's a little tiny box inside of you, inside your heart, that is always going to have those memories of that particular fursuit when your living pet was in that fursuit in that time frame of your life. So you want to honor the joy and the goodness. So when you cry, it should be a happy cry because you're celebrating. That's right, celebrating all the love that you have. And once you start celebrating, then you'll be able to have more signs and be able to communicate with them and connect with them better on the other side. Because prolonged, chronic, and ongoing, this is like excessive, way excessive, can push away energy because when you cry, you're pushing away energy. When you laugh, you're drawing energy and love in. So the more you celebrate and think of good, start your cry on a sad note, but in the middle of it go, we just did, he was the cutest thing when he used to jump across the floor, and change the cry thought from what was to a joyous memory. And inch by inch, nanometer by nanometer, your heart will change back to joy. Now, the third thing about crying is you feel them. Like you're standing in line at Rite Aid or the grocery store, or it's their anniversary, and all of a sudden you just go, I can't do this anymore. Like I watched the horse races the other day. Well, my Mikey was into thoroughbred racing, right? So I can't watch horse races anymore because when I do, I just am crying like a faucet over Mike's passing. And then at the end of the race, I'm celebrating the fact that I got to have so much love and share so much unconditional times and happy times with him. So a lot of times when you're having anniversary cries or you're just standing there and all of a sudden it just like washes over you, well, that means their spirit is near and hugging you and close to you. Because living energy is always around. You can't run it away unless you have extreme grief and you just close your mind going, I'm not having that. I can't talk to dead pets. I can't connect with dead pets. Well, that's right. Because pets aren't ever dead. Their fursuit has passed and is no longer usable. But their living energy is forever. So the three kinds of crying are, number one, just human grief. Totally part of the process. In time, it will assuage. The second kind of crying is celebratory crying, where you start off crying because you miss them so, But then change it up. Change your heart and remember the good times. And that makes it a celebratory, like, wow, honoring them kind of cry. And that's good grief. And the third kind of cry is when they walk up to you or come up behind you and the living energy is close to you and it's rubbing up next to you or standing beside you. Well, that kind of crying is because your heart feels them, because there's always a compartment in your heart that's full of them, and always a compartment in your heart that has those memories. And when they bring their living energy up to you, it's like, tap, 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 I'm here, and you'll just start crying. But really what this is about is, I'm here. So if you can, during that kind of crying, get real quiet and say, I love you, where are you? Let me feel you. And a lot of times you'll be able to feel them connect with you and come up to you and hug you in a way that's like tingly or warm fudge being poured all over your body, or you'll just have a sensation that you know is your pet hugging you again. So I hope this lets you know that crying is perfectly okay. It's normal. And if that pet was that special, you'll cry about them your entire life, because there's a little tiny box in your heart that will always hold their memories and always be sensitized to those memories. And that sensitivity is what you change from, why have you left me, you can't do this to me, to, oh, I'm so glad we got to share that together. And then it's a happy cry. And that's good grief. And the other cry is, okay, you're here in line with me at Walmart. I got it. I miss you so much. Hug me. Let me know you're here. And then you'll feel the warmth or the tingle, and you'll know they're there. So crying is a good thing. Crying is a normal thing. Now, if you have excessive grief, like ongoing for years and years and years, then at that point in time, you might want to talk to a pet bereavement counselor. We have Frankie in our group, so you're welcome to come over there. She's a professional bereavement counselor. And we have lots of members who have been through what you're going through, and we'll help you with that. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Send us your question. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.